Thank you for coming. Our first speaker of the night is actually Julian Heicklen, and he is part of the Fully Informed Jury Association, educating Americans on their rights as a trial juror. So here to talk a little bit more about that, what we can do as citizens, here's Julian Heicklen.
Hello, everybody. My pleasure to be here. Some time ago, the Tyranny Sexual Association introduced more spanners that's detecting more things, more probing. And two of my good friends, Jim Babb, who is here and going to speak, and George Donnelly, organized the demonstrations all over the country against the introduction of these new scanners. I live in New Jersey. The New Jersey people was organized by the Libertarian Party, and we went to the airport in Newark, New Jersey. And there were two such demonstrations. The first one was the night before Thanksgiving, and we went there. 6 of us showed up at about 6 o'clock. And meanwhile, the airport had kindly set up tables for us, one table on the 2nd floor and one table on the 3rd floor of Terminal B. And 3 of us went to one table and 3 of us went to the other table. And then as we demonstrated, we were joined by other people. Many people went by, just ignored us. A number of people supported us, gave us the high sign, and a couple of people made snide remarks. 5 policemen were assigned to watch us, but they didn't interfere in anything that we did. And then 4 people, others, joined us in the demonstration. And I run an organization called Tyranny Fighters, and they all signed up to be a tyranny fighter. And I would be happy to have any of you want to join to be a tyranny fighter. This is an organization with no constitution, no laws, no officers, no meetings. Everybody just does their own thing, and I send out emails every couple of weeks to keep everybody informed of what's going on. There are now over 800 tyranny fighters in this operation. Many of you already are tyranny fighters. I have a sign-up sheet afterwards. You can come and sign up. At the first meeting, we distributed a sign which said, "You have the right to say no," and we also distributed the Bill of Rights. 3 news organizations were present, and the chair of the New Jersey Libertarian Party, J. Edgar, who had organized the event, was interviewed twice, once by Channel 9 and once by News 12 TV. And shortly thereafter, Sean Berger of News 12 videotaped me holding this sign. And after that, Tyson Trish of the Bergen Record, which is the northern New Jersey area, took pictures of the 3rd floor group and interviewed us. I wasn't fully informed of what happened on the 2nd floor, but I understand that they were interviewed also. Our second demonstration occurred on December 23rd, which was the night before Christmas Eve, and this was a smaller demonstration. Actually, J. Edgar and I were the only 2 that showed up. He set up a table and we started. We were shortly joined by Joe Dunzy and then another, so there were finally 4 of us. In addition, 4 other tyranny fighters, 4 other people came and discussed it and signed up as tyranny fighters, and so we had sort of a positive reception. We passed out about 50 pamphlets in the first demonstration and 30 pamphlets in this one, and many of them were passed out to TSA employees. The question that comes up is, why is the TSA adding these new scanners? It's been 10 years since the attack of 9/11 and 2001. It's almost 10 years. As far as I know, there hasn't been another airplane incident that's been initiated in the United States. So apparently what they were already doing, which may not have been necessary or may have been necessary, was sufficient. So why are they now going into further groping? The real answer is there's no legitimate reason for it. The point is they have a new toy and they want to use it. It's just that simple. You don't get new toys and then just put them in the closet. You know, that's the way people behave. And this is the real reason for adding the new scanners. There's no legitimate reason for doing so. In fact, my suggestion is that we can minimize the problem in the current situation because it's not necessary that everybody go through the scanners. For example, little children don't blow up airplanes, or people with little children don't blow up airplanes. There's no reason why those people should have to go to any scanner at all. In fact, they can be given the option. If they want to go through the scanner, they can. If they don't want to, they don't have to. We've never known of a family blowing itself up. Another group that one doesn't have to be concerned with usually are people over 60. I don't know of any of these guys who are over 60 that blew up, and so us old guys like me who find it very hard to take off their shoes and put them back on could have the option of not going through these scanners. A third group, if you want to go that way, is, so as far as I know, no East Asian person, what we used to call Orientals in the old days before that became a bad word, that I know of were ever involved in an airplane bombing anywhere. There's no real reason why they should have to go through any scanners at all. Now, if some of these people are excluded from scanning, then of course they will be dismissed if they wish to, which most of them will, I'm sure. But meanwhile, even those that are going through the scanners will find it very much more convenient because there will be much fewer people going through and there will be less inconvenience. So it seems to me that this is a win-win situation for everyone. We should take some views that the Israelis have done. The Israelis, of course, were the ones who were most bombed, and yet they've succeeded in not having a successful, or as far as I know, even attempted attack on their airplanes now in several years. And they do is they interview everybody that goes on in an airplane, and from these interviews, they can spot people who may be of concern, and otherwise they go in. I happen to have family in Israel. I go there to visit. They also interview you when you come off and enter the country, because of course they have terrorists in the country. And when they come to me, they always ask me, why are you visiting Israel? And I always say, to see my grandchildren, and whip out the pictures of my grandchildren, and then the interviewer always says, the exit door is over there. They have no more interest in me, because it's not likely that I am going to be a problem. Another thing that the Israelis do is, on every airplane, they have armed, plainclothes police officers or detectives. You never know this or who they are. They just look like any other passenger. But they're armed and trained to either kill or capture anybody who would cause a problem on the airplane. It seems to me like this would be a good idea, especially if we didn't make everybody go through the scanners as we do now. There would be a fair amount of saving, and that money could be used in putting these police officers on the airplane. And another thing that can be done is, what the Israelis also do is, when the crew gets into the airplane, they always lock the cabin door from the inside so that nobody can enter the cabin unless they let them in. And this, of course, protects them from anybody taking over an airplane and running off with it. And they have been enormously successful, and I don't see why, if necessary, we can introduce it. But it seems to me that most of what we do either has been successful so far, there's no reason to do more, and I think there's actual good reasons to do less, both from the point of view of convenience of everybody, including those who are being scanned, and for the convenience of everybody else, and for saving money. Incidentally, I've tell you a little bit about tyranny fighters. Anybody who would like to sign up and join, what happens is I send out an email every 2 weeks. You're not committed to anything. This goes as a blind carbon copy. If you're interested in picking up one of our projects, you join in. And if you're not interested, well, the mic went off. Yeah, the mic went off. I've been thrown out. And if you don't want to get these emails, all you have to do is just send me a note that just says, take me off the list. And you do. A number of people do that. Fortunately, more people are joining than are leaving, but that's everybody's own option. And if you have a pet project, this is a way for you to connect with other people who are interested in this project and getting to work with them.